Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. It is Monday, May 20th, 9:29 a.m., which means 1 minute away from the New York Open, watching the Three Sisters here on the 1 minute chart in the pre-market. This is the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow, of course. NASDAQ, S&P from left to right, and Dow on the far right. VWAP, volume weighted average price. Waiting for that first 1 minute candle to open. We're going to have the 1 minute open range, which will move out to the right, and that will be my open range for the day, which is a fairly important level to me. And on the 30-minute chart with zones that we have now broken to the downside here this morning in the pre-market, I would have liked to have seen this action, of course, after the open, because I typically don't trade going into the open before regular trading hours unless there's something very compelling or 8:30 news after the dust has settled. This is the first 1 minute candle over here, guys, on the right hand side. We are open. I'll be watching this. My default position, by the way, on Mondays, guys, as many of you know, is no trades, unless there's something that grabs me by the ears, so to speak, and drags me in. So that was the 30-minute chart down here on the NASDAQ. This is the S&P, something very similar in a clean traffic range or cleanish traffic range. This is Friday's activity, of course, that nice big rally we had in the afternoon. And then the Dow going in the opposite direction, which we often see, blasting back up into the prior range. This is the range that was formed in Asia and so far in the London session here today. And we're very much in the open range now too for the Dow. There's back to the NASDAQ. I'm going to take you back to the Three Sisters. I'll be watching these together. Nothing for me to do here. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Hope you got a chance to enjoy some nice weather wherever you are. And rest and relax, recuperate, enjoy family, friends, or some alone time if that's what you need and want. Maybe you have pets, cats and dogs, ducks. I don't know why I said ducks, but I know there are people out there that do have pet ducks. I'm going to drop this zone, guys, down to here. You see these two equal bodies? One bearish candle, one so far bullish candle. That can change, of course. Just revising my zones. That's the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the S&P. I'm going to do the same thing on the S&P. Now we have this new expanded range, right? We often see a narrow range in Asia. We see an expanding range in the UK, European session. And we often see an exploding range in New York. And we'll see where that goes today. The Dow all of a sudden has flipped and is now showing a bearish posture. So very stark divergence here now, guys, with the NASDAQ rallying strongly higher and the Dow coming down, and of course the S&P, as usual, is a muted version of the two, or somewhere in the middle. One of the reasons why I rarely trade the S&P these days is for that reason. I'm looking for definitive price action. I tend to see that most in the NASDAQ, sometimes in the Dow, and rarely too exciting in the S&P. And that's changed, by the way, over time. I used to be a big trader of the, I wouldn't say big in terms of size, but I used to trade the S&P a lot, and now I rarely do, although I do own it in my longer-term portfolios at various times. So as long as this stark divergence remains in place, I won't be taking any trades here today, or this morning, I should say. I'll be watching, so I'll put you on pause, guys, and bring you back as things firm up and or materialize. All right, guys, watching closely now, firming up on the Dow. Yeah, buy stop order, guys. Right above this candle I'm going to risk 20 points. Getting ready here. Here we go. And I'm in, guys. Long the NASDAQ. This trend continuation trade. Give me one moment. And I am in. I just had a little problem there with my own platform, but so far, so good. It's going to be a real quick trade, guys. Either getting stopped out or hitting profits, risking 1 hour. Very quick trend continuation, and I'll show you why in a moment in terms of what I was seeing on the three sisters to really make this thing come together in my mind as a trade idea. And there it is, guys. Just needed that one more push. Kind of pulled back and grinded a little bit around here, but finally hit it. There's 1 hour. It's probably going to go significantly higher given that we're in this clean traffic range here from Thursday of last week, today being Monday. This might go all the way to the top of the range, but I just wanted to get that early 1 hour out of the way here on Monday after this very extended, well, what looks extended anyway on a relative basis, impulse wave up, this nice orderly corrective, and that's where I bought on the resumption on the uptrend. Well, why did I choose that moment? Well, because of what I just showed you, but also because we were strong here, obviously, on the NASDAQ. The strength came back in on the S&P. This is the candle I entered on right here on the NASDAQ. Here's the equivalent on the S&P. We got a shift candle above both EMAs and finally above VWAP as well. And then also on the Dow that had been going the other way, it also firmed up. It was showing signs of firming up right here. It turned out it actually went lower again and made a new low after I was in, and that's okay. But then had a little 2B bottom, it's almost like a double bottom, and then finally it showed strength as well to support the trade idea eventually. But it was a little bit of a drawdown there first. But most of the pieces lined up. Another very big piece of this, of course, is breaking the daily high from Friday. Friday was basically a doji indecisive candle and body. And then this morning on this impulse wave up right here, breaking the prior day's high, which again was Friday, and then having this orderly pullback, tagging the 9, resumption of the uptrend. Very simplistic trade. We're above the open range, above EMAs, 9 above the 21, both of them rising, impulse, corrective, trend continuation trade. And looks like we're going significantly higher. I think we're almost at about 2 hour there if I was still in, but I'll take the 1 hour and be done with it. Have an amazing day, guys. We'll talk soon.